The notifications on the phone. Don't need
Oh, geez,
your battery will be good.
Yeah, my battery will be fine.
You hit
Raise money for our local Children's Miracle Network hospitals. It feels good to do something we love to help kids, but it feels great to get closer through the magic of game. We enter as friends and leave as real-world heroes for sick kids everywhere. Sign up online. Extra Life. Play games. Heal kids.
Right on. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming. We'll just do a quick set of introductions here and then get right into it. My name is Sean Rooney. I'm from Medicine Hat. That's all I'll say for now. Starting with my left, we got Jeff Johnson from Cranbrook. To my immediate right, hopefully the reason most of you are here, Mr. Jon Cornish, Calgary Stampeders legend. Huge into charities, as you'll learn a bit more about. And finally, Extra Life Calgary Guild President Lexi Wilkowski. Thank you. All right. Basically, I'll just give you the 5-minute spiel. Actually, first of all, just give a quick check. Who's been to the Extra Life Calgary booth so far this weekend? Anybody? Cool. Oh, cool. And of those of you, did you come away understanding what Extra Life was, or are you here to learn more? A little bit more. Okay, cool. So, Extra Life is basically it's a charity, video games, board games, kids, hospitals. Awesome. Okay? Started in 2008 by a fellow named Jeremy Adams. He was down in Texas, and basically he knew this girl, Victoria, who was diagnosed with leukemia, and she passed away. And he basically started this charity in her honor. So, the basic idea is you just do a marathon of games, and you sign up and choose your local children's hospital. And all the money that people sponsor you for to do that sort of gaming marathon, however you want to structure it, goes to that hospital. So let's say if you wanted right now, and by the way, you can do this during the presentation while you're listening to us if you want. Go to extra-life.org, sign up, pick Alberta Children's Hospital because that's why we're here. And then basically you can start sharing that link that gets created with all your friends and family, and you basically say, hey, this year's official game day is November 4th, for instance. 25 hours we're going to be playing. You can do it whenever you want, though. I know the Extra Life Calgary Guild will learn a bit more about what their plans are. But yeah, it's a really great way to give back through your passion through your gaming, right? So, let's start out with Jon. Well, first of all, I'd just like to say on behalf of everybody, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate and frankly, if anybody doesn't know, he's been doing this for a couple of years. With Extra Life, and I think we're going to learn really quick here. Tell us about how much of a geek you are, because I don't think everybody knows this is like the Canadian Male Athlete of the Year, like Calgary Stampeders, CFL records. I think most of us know about that part of his resume. Does anybody not know about that part of his resume? All right. Okay, well that's fair. I appreciate your honesty.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Yeah. So tell us what is about you that is geeky? Fill these people in on the kind of stuff that you do that maybe might surprise them a little bit.
So I like to consider myself a digital native. I was raised by the internet. I started, programming at age 5 into video games and stuff. But where I really found my love of gaming was modding. So I did a lot of mods for games like Quake, Unreal Tournament, and then eventually got into World of Warcraft. And while I was playing World of Warcraft, this is during early my CFL career as well as my college time. I led let's call it a daytime raiding guild. Well, we were actually the number one daytime raiding guild in the world. So we had world firsts on Lich King and did different things like that. So I've always been a big geek, pretty much from the get-go. But I've also, my mom at an early age, she pretty much corrected me when I had this random interview when I was 6 years old. I was asked, John, what do you want for Christmas? I was talking about this big Lego set that was coming out. I was pretty excited about that. Afterwards, my mom corrected me. She was like, no, John, what you should have asked for is something like world peace or So at that point, I realized that you can enjoy yourself, but you can also do so by going back and giving back. I very quickly throughout my time in the Stampeders, it became affiliated with the Alberta Children's Hospital. And I volunteered there just as a volunteer. Started in 2011. I really took a lot of pride in that, because I was helping kids, but two, because of what I was doing with the kids. And I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a video game cart. It has a nice 32-inch monitor, every system, PS4, Xbox, Wii U, and I push that around, and I take it to different kids' rooms in the Children's Hospital, and I play video games with them. So I had that role. I still have that role, volunteering with the Children's Hospital. But I also have a role with the Children's Hospital Foundation, helping support their events as well. And that's how I got affiliated with their Extra Life group, because I'd done it myself, and I was just like, oh, I'll raise some money, I'll play Minecraft all day. I didn't really talk it up or anything, sell it on social media or anything. But then I turned around, and through my affiliation with the foundation, I got quite a bit more support. I had a venue where I hosted that, had a whole bunch of people came by, had swag to give out in exchange for donations and stuff. And we ended up, I think, producing about 1,500 Canadian dollars last year.
Right on. Yeah, that's amazing.
Not quite in the same league as these guys, but this year I'm looking forward to joining up and teaming up, and we're going to have, a really good gaming day on November 4th.
Oh, yeah. Sweet. Okay, you got to tell me, though, tell me your World of Warcraft character.
Oh. Okay,
I want to know.
So, when I retired from World of Warcraft, max level paladin named Julia Roberts.
Nice.
But maybe I shouldn't tell this story, but
Yes, you should.
I would normally name my characters everybody knew me as Horatio or whatever. But then after I started making some alts, so my non-main character, I just would name them after random movie people. So I had Heath Ledger, and I played as Heath Ledger for a good deal of time. He was bombing in Dark Knight, but then he passed away, unfortunately. So I suicided the character in the middle of the big the Shatrath, like the main meeting area at the time, and we had a nice little memorial for Heath Ledger.
It's very appropriate. Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, no, we're certainly thrilled. I mean, and for sure, if people didn't want to actually do Extra Life, they can certainly just find your page and donate, right? So you'll get that set up, sometime this year. The official game day, by the way, is November 4th this year. So sometime before then, definitely watch on the social media. Was it at Jon Cornish is your Twitter handle, right?
Thank you.
Cool. All right, so next, let's talk to Lexi. Hi, Lexi. Again, thank you so much for being here. You're part of the reason we're here, frankly. The Extra Life Calgary Guild, of course, has a booth. Maybe start by telling people where that booth is.
So our booth is in the Atrium and Alpha Link Center. So we're right by the gaming area and the children's area. So if you see a bouncy castle, there's a big lemon near it. We're behind the lemon.
Yes. Find lemon and the empanadas. They're delicious.
Yeah, so come grab an empanada and a lemonade and come talk Extra Life with us.
Yeah. So what is the Extra Life? So we all sort of understand now what Extra Life is, right? You can sign up, choose your hospital, that kind of thing. So what's an Extra Life Calgary Guild then?
So the Guild is a group of Extra Lifers. We're not all necessarily gamers, but we're all people who are committed to helping out the Children's Hospital. The Extra Life Calgary Guild works within our community to raise awareness about Extra Life. So because 100% of funds raised by Extra Life actually go to the hospital, all of the promotion is done through volunteer work. So this guild members will volunteer at events. So the people running our booths, those are guild members. We will be at the Final Fantasy Jubilee concert that's coming up. So we do tons of events. People can get involved by come to our booth. We'll give you a pamphlet. We have our Facebook, we have our Twitter, but you can have any time commitment because you guys are volunteers, right? So, and we're always looking for new members. We also do events. So we will be having a big game day event, but we'll be doing it a week or so before the actual November 4th game day, just because all of our guild members love to stream on official game day, and most people in the community do as well. So we don't want to cramp your game day stream, but we do like seeing people come out. So if you do follow us on Facebook and stay tuned, we'll be putting on a big gaming event, and people will be invited to bring their own rigs and equipment, as well as come out and hang out and play on ours.
Yeah. So how did you get involved in it then? Like, because you've obviously got a gaming background, right?
Yeah. So I just started as a randomly signed up. We saw it on Xbox Live, a friend and I. So we thought it would be fun. So we threw a house party. And what we did is we threw a big jar at the door, told people that party starts at 8 a.m. and it's going to go to 8 a.m. the next day. Bring your consoles, bring your computers, come hang out and have fun. It was so much fun. We had people coming in and out throughout the whole day. We raised over $1,000 for the Children's Hospital in our first year. Met some really awesome people, because it turns out when people are raising funds for the Children's Hospital, you're making really good friends. So it was a lot of fun. Which is to say, everybody in here, just because you're interested in Extra Life, you're good people. Yeah. So pat yourself on the back. But yeah, no, and yeah, as we said, you can definitely see us after the panel if you're interested in doing more. But honestly, if you're just interested in just doing Extra Life, just sign up. I mean, yeah, why not, right? Yeah. So, and it's so much fun. Yeah, it is so much fun. Okay, so next, Jeff. Now, Jeff is from Cranbrook, as we mentioned earlier. We got some Cranbrook people in the house. And so, and you do some really interesting stuff. We've all talked about some stuff that we've all done. You kind of take it to the next level. Now, let's start by what do you do for a living? Because this will give a bit of a hint.
Well, basically, I work in news by trade. I've been a news anchor, reporter for the past 10 years now. But I've also been involved in a lot of different volunteer causes, just nearly as long as that. I've organized events for groups like the Canadian Cancer Society, Big Brothers Big Sisters, East Kootenay Friends of Children. Also helped organize this event called Slopes for Hope that was based out of Kimberley, BC. That's now spread across British Columbia. They saw the idea of doing this skiing marathon and decided this could work at ski hills everywhere. So they put it together, and now there's this skiing fundraiser for cancer across the entire province.
Amazing.
So these days, the lion's share of my volunteering has been for our Extra Life Game Day Cranbrook Committee. Dave Miller, Aaron Schultz, they were the main spearheads behind that. They brought me in because they know my history. And also Julie Seville, she joined the team as well. And we've been organizing gaming events for the past 4 years. In that time, we've raised about $15,000 for Calgary's Children's Hospital.
Wow, that's stellar. Now, is that... One thing I'll just break in a note here. So is that 15,000 Canadian or 15,000 American? Because
that's Canadian. You're right.
because one thing I'll just quickly interject here is that when you do donate through Extra Life, because it's a North American charity and they do sort of their own leaderboards, you do have to donate in US dollars right now.
Exactly.
So
it's a little tricky in that.
A lot of times when I give numbers, I'm like, oh yeah, it's 1,500, but it's really $1 million Canadian. Anyhow, sorry.
What is this Canadian currency thing?
Anyhow, so back to your, so you guys have been doing that. So tell me a little bit, give me a little hint at what the event was like this past year for you guys.
Yeah, basically with our events, what we do is we organize a big gaming day. Like we have video games, card games, board games. Through that, we're putting together this opportunity for everybody to come out. We have cheaper rates for kids. The adults get to come in. Our age range that we say is anywhere from 2 to 92. Because we want to see everybody come in that door and have a good time. Yep. Whether it be, I remember we had a group of older gentlemen who took over our poker table the one year just to play that, and they ended up keeping it for about 4 hours.
Fair enough, man.
They had fun, we had a good time, money was raised for the Children's Hospital, all was good.
There you go. Now, the one thing I always think of, Cranbrook is, how long is driving here? 5-6 hours?
About 5 hours.
Yeah. So, why are people in Cranbrook raising money for the Alberta Children's Hospital in Calgary?
Well, the thing about it is, we've got the East Kootenay Regional Hospital, and it's a great hospital, provides plenty of services, but it's not a dedicated children's hospital, and there's nothing like that in our area. Basically, if a child gets really sick or injured in our area, they're either being flown out to Vancouver for the BC Children's Hospital, but primarily it's to Alberta for the Calgary's Children's Hospital here. Yeah. And the point is, we know our kids are going here. We know that the services here are needed. So we're going to do everything we can to help out.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
One more question. How's the internet in Cranbrook?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
So not so much streaming as much as, doing your own thing. The poker works great.
Exactly. Our internet is basically cup to string to another cup to string. That's how it works.
Fair enough. So in that case, then, if anybody here might be interested, or anybody listening, you've got a podcast, yada yada yada. We can link to it later if you want to send it to any friends later. They can listen back to this panel, by the way, later. So feel free to share it with them. Do you have any tips for like getting into the planning game in terms of doing the kind of huge stuff that you do?
Yeah, definitely. Really, the thing you got to look at is that this is a big involvement. And at the same time, you can make smaller events, whether it be 10, 15, 20 people getting together, or you can make a massive event, having like 200, 300 people come out. The important thing, though, is it all starts with volunteers. For Cranbrook, we have about 35 different volunteers that are involved. For our smaller events, sometimes we only have 10 people involved to just make sure everything works. For our larger events, we need the whole team. The whole team is needed to make that run smoothly. I don't even want to imagine just how nuts it is for the volunteers needed for something like Calgary Expo. But you've seen the volunteers running around here. To make something like this work, you need a whole team, a ton of people. And the same goes for any sort of event that is a significant fundraiser. The other thing, don't be afraid to approach everyone and anyone. Because, I mean, really, the worst thing is people are going to say no. And that's bound to happen. But if you don't approach them, you have no way of knowing if this person is a potential sponsorship, somebody who wants to come out and help your cause, even somebody who has a game system that they want to lend for the day. Like, I don't have a TurboGrafx 16. I know people who do. They can bring that, and all of a sudden, we've got people playing TurboGrafx 16.
Show of hands. Somebody have a TurboGrafx 16 in the house?
Ouch! John! Ouch! Amazing.
Nerd cred. Okay.
The other thing, have a thick skin. And this is very important because, like I said, people are going to say no when you approach about, hey, I'm organizing a fundraising event. Do you want to come out? Or, hey, can you donate something to our event? People say no because sometimes they just don't have the ability to support at that time. Or they have other causes that they're supporting. The number that you're going to find, for every 10 people that you approach, about 3 are going to be able to do something for your cause. And that's fine, because that's 3 more people supporting this children's hospital.
Yeah, if you're in baseball, batting 300.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, bad reference for a comic expo. Although I guess we got the sports angle covered, so I guess, sure, why not? Yeah, so...
You know, one person you haven't heard from yet on this panel, Sean.
I suppose not.
No, I mean, you've definitely been leading the show.
Yeah.
But, Sean, we haven't had a chance to learn more about you and your involvement. I guess, why don't you take us through, tell us about yourself.
Sure. So, mine's a bit of a tougher story to tell. So I'm actually originally from Calgary, grew up here basically, but moved to Medicine Hat. I'm actually the sports editor at a newspaper there, so I'm really thrilled to be sitting beside this guy. My wife and I, there's my wife Trish in the back, hi, with our baby Samantha. We had tried for a while to get pregnant, and we finally had a baby boy, Dominic. And at about 11 months old, he started exhibiting some symptoms, and it turned out he had leukemia. So, from Medicine Hat, suddenly we were in the hospital full time for, basically the next 2 years. He went through everything. He had a bone marrow transplant. You name it, they gave it to him. All sorts of awful chemotherapy. But at the same time, it became our second home. And so very quickly, we learned, through Krista actually, here's in the second row, about Extra Life. And we did a gaming marathon at my house and in her house, and we had a ton of fun. And we raised like $4,600 US that first year. And Don had his good parts and his bad parts. He never learned to talk, actually. So whenever you see me give a thumbs up, that was always his thing. He'd let us know that he was okay if it was a thumbs up. Well, it got to the point where actually Christmas Eve, the one year, they told us he was terminal. So we did some things. We took him out to Vancouver. He actually defied all expectations, and we actually ended up getting out to a wish trip in Orlando. And that's where he passed away. And so in his obit, we asked for people to donate to Extra Life. and we raised $46,000 that year, US. So, yeah. So, needless to say, not everybody, I hope most people don't have a story like that. But the reason why we sort of do things like this panel that we're so lucky to be able to do this weekend, and just share our story wherever we can, is to try to help people find their own stories. Like, I'm sure, okay, another raise of hands. I love the hands thing. How many people know somebody that's been in the Alberta Children's Hospital? Yeah. And if you don't, I guarantee you know somebody who does. And so the reason why we do this is to try to give back, obviously. The hospital, we've got a couple wonderful hospital reps here. Thank you, ladies, for coming. Who, they rely on the public to do extra things. Like, obviously, there's some basic things that, at any hospital you can get covered in Canada, but, they do extra things. Like, one of the best things that Dom loved doing was the music time. And they'd have a music therapist come in and they'd play songs with him because he's not allowed to leave his room, okay? So this is the kind of stuff that, like, when you do Extra Life or when you donate to Extra Life, these are the kind of things. And the kids who are just in the worst situations possible, you're making their lives a little bit better, and you're making their families' lives a little bit better. And so that's why we do what we do. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm never going to be able to, do everything, but you kind of do your small part. Like, and don't get intimidated when you hear, like, oh, he raised $46,000 a year. No, if you raise $5, you can get for $5. You can get like little like strips for an NG tube. You can get like a quarter of a box of those. And that all helps. So if that's all you do, you're going to game anyhow, go ahead and sign up and tell your friends about it. And maybe you raise $5 this year. Maybe you raise $1,000. Maybe you raise, $50,000. Like, whatever. It all helps. And so that's why we're here, and that's why we're doing this. So we've got some numbers to share with you, by the way. And I think I'll let Lexi sort of talk you through this, because the growth has just been insane.
Yeah. So first, these numbers are all in US dollars. Just like we said before, that's what the website uses. So you can see in 2013 we raised $64,000. The Guild was formed in 2014, and that's why you can see the funds actually doubled. And that's not just with us. That's because we almost doubled the number of participants involved in Extra Life. So the average person who signs up for Extra Life will raise $200.
And I just want to point out, this is just the Calgary. So, like, Extra Life as a whole has been seeing this kind of growth too, but this is our specific area. So
Extra Life as a whole has raised almost $10 million today.
Yeah, we're going to break $10 million this year.
Yeah. 2015, more growth, and last year we managed to raise $182,000, and which is really awesome because our economy sucks right now. So this was something where we were really proud as a guild because we really came together as a community, and we've been working really hard on building the guild community and just having a place where gamers can come hang out. We have a Discord server, so if you ever need somebody to play a game with you, even if we don't have it, guaranteed somebody wants to try it.
Yep. And yeah, like every Extra Life, generally, and that's part of the guild program, right, is you're trying to get more people involved. On average, every new guild member people you recruit in is going to raise $200. And just as a quick side note, again, before you finish those numbers, if you raise money, you actually earn things. So, like, yeah. I'm wearing a shirt. Actually, this is a different kind of a shirt, but this is an Extra Life shirt. $200, you get an Extra Life shirt. Did you get a medal?
Yeah, I was on.
So you got a gold medal for raising $1,000.
I got a medal in the mail. I don't. Somewhere up there.
Talk to me after. I'll make sure you get it.
All right.
But yeah, you get swag too. So it's not just feeling good about the things you're doing. You actually get some cool stuff too.
Yeah.
And a tax receipt.
Tax receipts. Hey-oh.
Tax donations are good.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So last year at the hospital, holy cow, that's a lot of people who have been through that hospital, right? So it's like 225 critical care transports, 10,500 surgeries, 77,000 emergency, and I guess another reason, again, why in Medicine Hat and Cranbrook and all over the place. I mean, we met kids there from Ontario and stuff. I mean, the Alberta Children's Hospital is very well known for certain things, bone marrow transplants being one of them. So that was why we knew a lot of cancer patients on our ward that had to come because that was the best place to get a bone marrow transplant. And so, yeah, when you're supporting this, you're supporting some really amazing things, worldwide type research going on too. So, and yeah, so I want to open it up a little bit here. I don't know how if we can probably hear each other. You probably don't really need the mics, but I want to hear some stories. Like, does anybody have a reason why you might Extra Life that you might want to share with us? I'd be happy to bring the mic around to you guys, or yeah. Samantha has something to say. Oh yeah.
She doesn't want to listen to us. She wants to go play something.
Yeah. No, I don't think I saw, unless I'm missing something. Azad's not here, is he? No, I don't think I saw him.
Not right
We almost had the champion child from the hospital here. Didn't quite get him in, but he's a good example. Azad, he was hit by a bus, you guys, like 5 years ago or something like that. And yeah, he was hit by a bus, and it was just a miracle that he survived. The story went that he had a Pokemon card. It slipped out of his hand and sort of wafted across the street, and he just ran after it, and he got hit by a bus. His dad came on the scene and didn't even recognize him. He was so, like, nobody thought he was going to make it, but they got him to Children's Hospital and they saved his life. And I think he had his 14th or 15th surgery just last month. 15th, yeah. And he's an amazing kid. I got to meet him last month. There's a special Extra Life event called Extra Life United in Orlando. And I got to meet him and so many other champion kids, and he's just such an inspiration. And, kids like that just, A, they just melt your heart. B, they just inspire you so much because they're just like, yeah, I've been through that, whatever. They just give you such a different perspective, you know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. John, you've probably met so many of these kids. Do you remember any of them in particular maybe that maybe tugged your heartstrings a bit? Yeah,
I don't know if you all know Diamond. She had the opportunity to meet William and Kate, and she's been all over the world. She had cancer, and she's now passed away. But I know the times that we had gaming were some of my favorite times volunteering at the Children's Hospital. We played Mario Olympics, and we'd always play the skating game, and she would get that so precise. You get more points the more precise you were, and the more points you got accumulated. You felt, obviously. I've been commented by parents as, why aren't you letting them win? And it's like versus Diamond, I would always be like trying my hardest to squeak out the win. So there's been many kids, and some of the kids have the opportunity to be there just once. They're there for a few days, and then it's done. Great. But more frequently, the kids that I interact with over time, they will be, the kids that are in, just happen to be in at the same time as my shift. I get to see their parents, and they get to contrast their parents with the kids. The parents are always frequently, they're dealing with the realities of the illness their child has. But at the end of the day, the kid is just a kid. They just want to have fun. And for me to have an opportunity, and I think really like anybody that participates in Extra Life gets to sort of share in this, and that you're helping these kids just be kids. You're helping them become men and women that have normal lives, but they have to get through this, and that's why I so support Extra Life and the Children's Hospital, because they help these kids get to that point that they aren't dealing with these issues anymore.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, we got to meet Diamond's parents. We didn't actually meet Diamond. We met her. Trish, did we meet Diamond, or did we just meet her parents? Yeah. It's amazing how many people you meet when you're in the cancer ward. There's just and yeah, you come back. We brought Samantha back to the hospital just the other day, and just every corner is just like, oh, I remember. Oh, we're so happy. It's a family. And Extra Life is kind of like a family too. And it's like anybody who's involved in it is just like you're just all. Well, unless you can really speak to that in terms of just just the people that you meet.
We have a really good support group. Actually, I just got a new job with one of our Extra Life guys. So I ended up changing my job and career path and got a job with somebody in the guild. There's so many different people, but we all have like this same kind of passion about wanting to help people. So you have that common ground. Everyone likes to play games. You get to play new games with people. So on top of doing something awesome and helping the Children's Hospital. You saw those numbers. We doubled the funds raised. And by having this group of people, it's also really rewarding. You're building a big community of friends, of people, support groups. Like, even we've been in crew for a while now, and sometimes, things happen, and, we're there for each other, we're supporting each other.
Yeah.
When one of us wants to host a big fundraising event, guess what? Everybody shows up and everybody's helping out. If you're wanting to do your own event, there's volunteers. We're volunteers. We're ready to help you because if we can help you raise $1 extra for the Children's Hospital, then you're worth our time.
Yeah. Do we have any questions from the audience, by the way? Anybody have anything that we haven't covered, or maybe you'd like to know about more about Extra Life? Just speak up. Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to the Children's Hospital. Our daughter, who's currently gaming on this site, it wasn't an emergency by any stretch of the imagination, but she went to the head shake, and we had to go there for a year often.
Right.
And always a pleasant experience. We met people again who were coming from Regina, all over to come to the services of the Alberta Children's Hospital. So,
yeah.
To the reps who are here, thank you very much for all this.
Yeah, well done. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Jeff, you were going to say, sorry?
Oh, I was just going to agree with Lexi there, just bringing in the team, like making sure you have people who know what they're doing, who can actually help you out in a lot of different ways. Like I said before, we have many different events, and in some cases, we have people who know how to do games like Dungeons and Dragons. I have no clue about this game. I've never touched it. But we have people who are ready to play and ready to say, yeah, I'll host games for you at your events. And the other thing that I can even say on that is we have a dedicated a group of people who organize Smash Brothers tournaments in Cranbrook. And for me, I couldn't begin to tell you the difference between a Shine Spark and a Guard. So,
I lost the fastest ever in Smash Brothers in a tournament, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Dead.
So with that, like when you put it together, you have a group of people who are ready to help out. They're like, you're organizing this event to raise money for charity. Let us do your Smash Brothers tournaments.
Right.
And then we help them out by giving them prizing for that sort of event. And the other thing, game developers. Game developers are awesome for supporting this cause.
They want to give you copies of their game?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Actually, we just did this event called New Game Plus in March, and with that event, our goal was just trying to get as many new games as possible out there for people to try, people to give it a go. We reached out to this company about a retrobit generation system. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's like this 80-in-1 system of old classics like Kickle Cubicle or Knights of the Round, that old arcade game.
John probably has it.
Maybe?
No.
Whoa.
Okay. So we got one of those things donated, and there was also this company, what was it? This air guitar company. Virtual Air Guitar, that was it. Virtual Air Guitar Company. And
What do they sell?
The game is called Air Guitar Warrior. And the whole point of this is basically you're standing there in front of the screen in this Kinect game, and you're just doing the air guitar motions.
Like Just Dance, but air guitars?
Yeah. And so you're doing the air guitar motions, and it's shooting like lasers and stuff like that, like a rail shooter.
Oh, dude.
It is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That's amazing.
And, like, we put this thing out at the event for people to play 3 days before it came out.
Nice.
It was awesome.
Sweet.
So that's the type of support you can get in the community. Although I've had no luck on BioWare. Can we get a BioWare
The Edmonton Guild.
contact?
The Edmonton Guild has
We
them.
have a bit of a connection, and we're trying. We're trying.
I always like
Actually,
getting
here
Mass
know
Effect
somebody
games.
that we can put us in contact with.
Yeah.
We would like to. Also, just back to support. Turns out we got tons of IT guys. So if you're like somebody who's looking to start streaming, we've got people who can get you up and running like that.
I could even. I actually stream. So Extra Life does have an Extra Life Twitch channel. I stream on it every Sunday from 11 to 1, so feel free to drop by. They're actually, today, by the way, is International Tabletop Day. Yeah. So Geek and Sundry is actually doing a big thing, and they're actually being live streamed on the Extra Life channel right now as we speak. So, yeah, and then that's an important thing to point out too, right? Like a lot of us have been talking about video games and stuff. Yeah, board games are really where it's at, people. No offense.
But
But
game days have everything.
everything. Board games, video
We
games.
even have Pathfinder there.
Yeah. You can play.
I've seen some epic games of Jenga at Extra.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but everybody, we love our Jenga. Come
So-
to our booth. We have 2 Jenga games at our booth. So if you're looking for some downtime and you just want to play some Jenga today, come on over.
Yeah, we're down with it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, I think we'll just wrap it up then. We'll just finish this by thanking you all for being here and for showing some interest. And I really hope that you do. Even if you don't sign up, tell some friends about it. Even if you decide that this is not for you in the end, just tell a few friends about it. Just pass the word, right? Because if you're not going to be able to do it, somebody's going to be able to. The whole point here is that we're trying to get more people involved, helping the Alberta Children's Hospital. Getting as many kids better as we can, and giving them the best tools possible for that. So visit us, community.extralife.org, and definitely just search for Extra Life or Extra Life Calgary Guild on Facebook and Twitter. You'll find us really easily. Instagram too, Extra Life YYC. And we'll be happy to, if you want to share your page even, we'll help you share your page. Give you some donation tips, all that kind of stuff. There's so many ways of doing it.
And if you just have questions and you're just a little shy about speaking up here, by all means, send us a message or come grab us after. We've got lots of time so we can talk to you. Even if you just want to talk about potential game day events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've also got some cool notes on organizing events, like organizing different charity events. If anybody wants them, I've got a few handouts up here. So
Perfect.
Feel free to stop up.
There's a bunch of well-dressed people in this room. I don't know if you guys want to take a picture afterwards. But
I like that idea. Yeah, let's all crowd out up here. And
selfie time.
Yeah, so again, give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming. Do a big photo out in front?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Sweet. Jeff, you want to stop that there?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks very much.